Hello friends, Jeff here and welcome to my corner and welcome to another Quick Tip Tuesday. Let's focus for a minute on priming your models. Now you will know from my previous videos that I'm not really a big advocate of priming my models. The reason is a little bit obscure. It's just a mental thing. I don't like, if I can avoid actually, to add another layer of anything on my models to cover the detail. I usually won't. I won't do it. But through the years, I discovered that after doing a lot of conversions, after doing a lot of scratch building, it is sometimes necessary to add a primer on your model or on your work. The reason is for a couple of things. The first and most important thing is with adding a primer, if you have some rough spots, if you have some inconsistencies that you didn't pick up while you were working on your model, if you don't prime it and you don't see it and you eventually start airbrushing it, you might be in for a surprise. So covering your model with a primer, especially after you did a lot of work to it, it might be a good thing to do that. A second reason for priming is if you work with a lot of different media like photo etch, like metal, like plastic, like putty, like lead wire, it's always a good thing to prime your model before you start painting. And the reason is very simple. Photo etch, especially in metal, they don't really take paint very well. So you will be able to cover it, but it really doesn't attach as good than it does to the plastic. So just to make sure that you won't run into any surprises, it's always nice or always good actually, to put a layer of primer on it. Now, what primer should you use? Well, there are a lot of primers out there. We have Vallejo is a very, very good primer, very trustworthy. You can't go wrong with that. We have One-Shot primer from MIG, from Ammo, the same thing. Very good primers. They're based on acrylics. So if you want to go that route, you're good to go. You can't go wrong with either one of these. And there's a lot of other primers out there. I'm sure AK has one, Mission Models has them. But what I usually use, and this is personal preference, I always grab for the Tamiya Surface Primer, the gray one. To me, that's one of the better ones out there. It's also lacquer based, so it's more aggressive than the acrylics. But I like it. It is very smooth. And now you might say, well, it comes in a spray can. That's a little bit, you can't control that as good as with an airbrush. But also from my previous videos, you will see if I have to deal with a spray can, I usually have like a little mixing cup here, and I spray some of the primer in the can. And then I put it in my airbrush and go from there. And just to give you a quick example how primer works, this is an ICM truck, a German truck, and I rescrabbed the planking, I rescrabbed all the wood nerving. So, and then I add a layer of Tamiya primer, surface primer on there. And you can see that everything is popping out. If there were any inconsistencies, if there were any rough spots, I would be able to see it before I started painting. The same thing with the cabin and the chassis. I didn't have any problems. So again, if you like it or not, that is up to you. It's personal preference. I don't use it all the time, but if I have something that, like for instance, I'm working on this King Tiger from Tamiya and I'm doing all the Zimmerit on there, eventually I will prime this so I can at least see how it's going to look before I start painting it. So guys, that was it for now. The decision, of course, is up to you. Either you prime it or not prime it. But if you work with a lot of photo etch, if you work with a lot of media, my advice is just try it. And again, you don't have to use this one. You can easily use the Vallejo or the Mission Models or the AK or the MIG. They're all good. Just work with what you're comfortable with. Also, please don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to like and share us on Facebook. And of course, most importantly, as always, please visit our website at www.jeffvcornerstore.com for all your future modeling purposes. But for now, I'll see you guys next time for another Quick Tip Tuesday. And definitely every Sunday at 7 o'clock Central Time for our live chat. Jeff V here, signing off.